Oh, I want baby girl.
Don't baby girl me. How many of your groupies you call baby girl? Is Tisha a baby girl? Is Amanda a baby girl too? And who the hell is Bonquisha? Is that even a name?
Man, I can't
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sharane World, everybody. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. Let's go. Let's welcome all my victims, all my survivors, all my thrivers, or anybody that's out there that just want to educate yourself. You already know. Let's welcome all those narcissistic men and women up out there in them streets. Yeah, it's that Thirsty Thursday evening awareness on Sharane World. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my Thirsty Thursday morning awareness. It's right before this video, ladies and gentlemen, right here in Broome County. Mm, Yeah, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sharane's World. Let's welcome everybody on my YouTube page, all my subscribers, everybody that's out there. Let's welcome everybody that's on my support group page. That's right on Facebook. Domestic violence and narcissistic relationships I've survived. Let's also welcome everybody on my main page. Let's go. Round of applause to everybody out there, all you men and women. Yes, welcome to Sharane's World, everybody. Good evening. It is Thirsty Thursday awareness about here in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, because y'all know it get real up out there in them streets, right? So it's Thirsty Thursday awareness with Sharane's World right here on YouTube. We live, everybody. So make sure you like the video, all right? Share it. You never know who's going through something. You just never know. It could be your grandpa, your grandma, your grandfather. It don't matter who it is. Your father, your sister, your brother, your cat, and your dog. Welcome to Sharane's World. It is that Thirsty Thursday awareness. Let's go. Let's get into it. Welcome, everybody. Let's go. Welcome to Sharane's World right here on YouTube. As you know, you already know. I'm a parent mentor survivor for domestic violence and narcissistic abuse relationships for all men and women, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. Yes. I'm a parent mentor survivor. I'm an advocate for all men and women right here locally in Binghamton and the surrounding areas of Broome County, the southern tip. So, ladies and gentlemen, I spread awareness on YouTube. I come live on YouTube, share everything on YouTube. Then I also have my support group page on Facebook where I share information up there as well that you could get more in depth into information, whether you're male or female, you could go up there and get. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And also you check out my community wall. And I also spread awareness on my radio show on the WBDY 99.5, And so if you haven't already, make sure y'all check it out if you're right here in the surrounding areas. If not, make sure y'all tune into my Patreon, or you could tune into the WBDY Patreon and you can get it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. My Patreon that has all my radio shows up there. So if you want to watch the week, listen to the week before or whatever the case may be, that's where all my stuff go, all my radio shows. And my Patreon is called Sharane's World, just like the YouTube channel. Okay. And also, I dropped my Patreon. That's all over my social media platforms. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure if you don't know, just drop the comment in one of these videos, and I definitely drop the Patreon again. But definitely check out my community wall if you're only watching from YouTube, okay? Because I did drop it up there. It's Sharane's World on Patreon, and that's just what it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. So y'all know it's Thirsty Thursday awareness evening on a Thirsty Thursday. And y'all know them narcissists and them domestic violence people, whether they're male or female, they lurking, ladies and gentlemen. Thirsty Thursday, they up in them clubs, them bars, them shindigs. They may be at home. You might be supplying whatever they need, for their own personal gain. All right. So this is why Sharane World is here as a peer mentor survivor advocate, making sure that you guys get the tools and understand and recognize the flags that's going on. And shout out to all you people that love these videos and love everything that I, bring up here and not just up here to my support group page as well. So shout out to everybody, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, the whole goal about it is to, let you guys understand that you have that voice as well, okay? Because in Broome County, there's a lot going on, there's a lot going wrong. And, the thing about it is a lot of people is not healed out here. A lot of people is not at peace, and a lot of people is going after each other or just have this animosity because it is a small town, and not just that, everybody knows each other, and not even if you don't know each other, everybody's dating the same man or female up out here in these streets, okay? Yeah, so don't become the victim. Don't fall victim. Don't get set trapped on or whatever by these domestic violence people and these narcissistic people. Start recognizing these red flags when you start operating with them, okay? And please don't get love bombed, don't get gaslit. When they're abusing you and they start saying sorry, just know it's gonna keep happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So domestic violence is a pattern of harmful behavior used by one person to control, scare, or hurt another person in a relationship or family setting. All right, domestic violence is not only physical abuse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just physical. It can include emotional abuse, verbal abuse, threats, intimidation, financial control, sexual abuse, stalking, and manipulation. Examples can include hitting, pushing, or physically hurting someone, threatening to harm someone or their loved ones, calling someone names, putting them down, or making them feel worthless, controlling who someone talks to, where they go, or what they do, taking away access to money or preventing someone from working, using children, fear, or guilt to control a person. Domestic violence can happen to anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, or background. Abuse is about power and control, and a healthy relationship is built on respect, trust, safety, and kindness. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, help and support is available. No one deserves to live in fear, and everyone deserves to feel safe, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So please just recognize some red flags. Um, it's not always about physical abuse. It has emotional abuse, verbal abuse, threats, intimidation, financial control, sexual abuse, stalking, manipulation. There's a lot that you guys could recognize these red flags with. And, in a healthy relationship, that's not what you're going to see. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to be catching your partner hitting you or trying to control you or screaming at you, or you always got to take any bad juju energy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And what is narcissistic personality disorder within a relationship for all men and women? All right. Narcissistic abuse is a pattern of harmful behaviors that can include manipulation, control, emotional harm, and lack of respect for another person's feelings and needs. Okay. While only a qualified mental health professional can diagnose narcissistic personality disorder, anyone can display abusive behaviors that can hurt and control another person. So, narcissistic abuse can happen to anyone. It can happen to women and men in different types of relationships and behind closed doors where others may not see what is happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, if this is happening, please recognize these flags, understand what's going on, understand what's going on wrong. All right. So, what are some warning signs that you guys may see that you think that this is cute in the beginning of the relationship, and you guys automatically block it when you're dealing with a narcissist? Okay. All right. So, you will see love bombing. Love bombing is when someone gives intense attention, affection, and promises in the beginning to create a strong emotional connection. But later, that affection may turn into control or manipulation. All right, you're going to see gaslighting. That's when someone makes you question your own memories, feelings, or reality. They may tell you that you are overreacting, imagining things, or that problems are always your fault. Then you have blame shifting. That's when a person refuses to take responsibility for their actions, constantly makes you feel responsible for their behavior. Manipulation. using guilt, fear, pressure, threats, or emotional tactics to control your choices and actions. Devaluing. When someone repeatedly criticizes you, puts you down, insults you, or make you feel like you are not good enough. Isolation. When someone tries to separate you from friends, family, or people who support you. Silent treatment. Using withdrawal, ignoring, or refusing communication as a way to punish or control you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the favorite one right here, but we have smear campaigning. What is a smear campaign? That is spreading negative stories, rumors, or lies to damage your reputation and make others question you. We also have hoovering. This is what a lot of I'm reading all the signs of what these narcissistic people, male or female, will show you. Hoovering is attempts to pull you back into a relationship after leaving through promises, apologies, gifts, or sudden changes that may not last. Okay? So, the effects of emotional and psychological abuse can be serious. Survivors may experience anxiety, fear, depression, confusion, loss of confidence, and feeling like they are constantly walking on eggshells. All right, so if you are experiencing abuse, remember your feelings are valid, your story matters, your voice deserves to be heard, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so all men and women. A healthy relationship should include respect, honesty, safety, communication, and accountability. Okay, so accountability, ladies and gentlemen. Love should never make someone feel afraid, controlled, or worthless. All right, so this message is for every survivor, women and men. No one deserves abuse, and no one has to face it alone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so y'all make sure y'all start educating yourself up out here in these streets. Remember, they like the love bomb. They like to gaslight you. They blame shift. They like to manipulate you. They devalue you. They isolate you. They give you silent treatment. They do smear campaigns. They do hoovering. All right? These are all the things that a narcissist, whether they're a male or female, will do to you up out here in these streets. Okay? Yeah, it just don't matter who you are. That's just how they're gonna operate. They're gonna do you dirty. It doesn't matter what they tell you. That's just how they operate. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. They're not gonna get help. All they're gonna do is just move on to the next supply, and they're gonna do the same thing. And more TPOs, which is called order of protections, are gonna be placed out on the same person. And this is why there needs to be more strict laws and things like that put in place for anybody that's ever been charged with domestic violence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who they are, male or female, in New York State, in New York City. Because it's real up out here in these streets, and everyone needs to know who these people are when they come up out here and they start operating. Because, ladies and gentlemen, they are real. You guys got to start recognizing the flag, the red flags. You guys got to start opening your eyes, especially right here in Broome County. You guys got to start operating a little differently. There's too much unhealing going on. There's too much angerness going on. And then it's crazy. So this is why I say when you're coming out these situations, please get counseling, get help. All right. It's out there. You just got to open your mouth no matter who you are, male or female. And when you get that help, I'm telling you guys, you feel so much better, especially when you start recognizing what is narcissistic abuse, what is narcissistic personality, because that's the first thing you have to understand. What is narcissistic personality disorder? Okay. Then you have to understand what is the traits. Okay. And then because there's different type of narcissists. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand their traits. And I'm gonna do a video on that coming up in a few days on the different types of narcissists because there are different types. All right. You have them crazy ones and then you have them covert ones. All right. So you gotta understand what you're dealing with. All right. So this is why I say educate yourself. And once you start educating yourself on what you're dealing with, you understand you're sitting up in a toxic relationship, ladies and gentlemen. You really get the understanding of how a narcissist operates. All right. It's demon time once you really focus on what's going on. And when you do that, you'll remove yourself out that situation. It's just not healthy, to keep getting love bombed, gaslit, and then you turning around, they keep saying sorry, they putting their hands on you, they buying you gifts, taking you out, love bombing you, but they got supplies in the cut. You registering cars out here in your name for them. Y'all doing all of this wild style stuff out here. And then another thing that I just can't take is a lot of these people up in Broome County, they sit on the internet and they do that wild stuff up on the internet, and people judge you like that too, whether you in person or on the internet. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all ladies out here and y'all men out here, but definitely it's a lot of females out here that's doing that. And honestly, like your job could find you like that. People at your job could find you like that. And imagine you up on the internet talking wild style, and then one of your coworkers you don't like see that and now you getting in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people got to learn how to operate, and that's some unhealed toxic females up out here in the streets. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, in Broome County, y'all make sure y'all stay focused. And another thing that I can't get up out here in Broome County is like a lot of people get their kids taken away behind this domestic and situations when they could have easily stopped it, or they could have, they probably had the help and they just wasn't listening. So, ladies and gentlemen, start thinking about your kids. Start thinking about what y'all got going on for yourself. Start thinking about the future, because if you think by you sitting and dealing with domestic violence and an narcissistic abuse from any male or female is the relationship, if you think doing street pharmacist activities is the relationship, that's the goals, then you might as well, I keep telling y'all, go get the shovel, okay? And find you the next cemetery that they got and dig your early grave and just lay there. You might as well just go, because that's where you're gonna end up at when you're dealing with a narcissist or anybody with domestic violence tendencies, whether they're a male or a female, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so y'all gotta stay focused out here in Binghamton. Like I keep telling y'all, everybody is for everybody out here. Everybody not for everybody out here. Everybody's for everybody out here. And that's the sad part, because, you know, they like everybody has an op, everybody has something when everybody could come together and educate each other. You don't need no degree, you don't need none of that type of stuff to come out here and do all of that. But you know what these people do? They do narcissistic things, they do toxic things, and I don't understand how they can operate. And then they say they healed. Nah, ain't no way you could be healed. You understand? And then like it's just crazy out here. So ladies and gentlemen, y'all gotta stay focused. You definitely gotta stay focused in Boone County. It's too real. It's too real in these streets. All right. So if you want to end up 6 feet under, like I keep saying, turn on the internet, figure out what's going on, what's going wrong. Okay. It's a lot of people going unalive behind these situations. Like I keep saying, justice for Romika Blackman, aka Romika Meeks up in Chicago. Okay. There's a lot of women out here that's going unalive behind these situations, dealing with narcissists and domestic violence, to where they tried to get help and nobody was listening. You understand what I'm saying? So please get the help. And then you have men out here, that's going through it silently, ladies and gentlemen. Do you hear that? Silently. All right. And that's crazy work. All right. So once you start educating yourself, you could break that cycle. And you're going to hear that a lot when you're dealing with a peer mentor survivor, an advocate, a therapist, anybody. You're going to always hear break that cycle. You're gonna hear it. No matter if it's like, let me tell you like this, right? When I went through my stuff, I'm like, it's not me. But you know what? Let me look at what I've been through. You understand what I'm saying? Why am I dragging in all this toxicness? Okay, if it's not me, then what am I dragging in? Why after this person you get in you start dating this person and it's like similar stuff. So you have to break that cycle. Okay. And it's not to blame yourself, because I never sat there and put all the blame on me. No, I didn't do that. I didn't blame myself. And that's when you start playing mind, you start mind fucking yourself. You don't want to start screwing over your mind, thinking that that's your fault or whatever, what was going on with you in that relationship, because it's not your fault. Okay. If you tried, you tried. All right. You don't beat yourself in the head about what you went through with that person, no matter who you are, male or female. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I said, once I went through that, I recognized, hey, this is not my fault. I'm dealing with a lot of toxicness. I gotta break that cycle. Yes, you got to break that cycle. All right, I've been through it. All right, let's see who else in my family been through it. You understand what I'm saying? So now you gotta sit back and look like, all right, if I've been through it, my mother been through it, my aunt been through it. Shit. There's a lot of people in my family that been through domestic violence. So now you gotta figure out how to break that cycle, ladies and gentlemen. You most definitely do. So this is why I'm saying, don't sit back and say, oh, it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. You have to open up your third eye. And when that third eye comes open and you're educating yourself, it's like you studying for a test. You understand what I'm saying? That's like me, when I went for my CDL and the way I had to study hard for that CDL, all that training I had to go through, the DMV, you know, uh, forget you get to the DMV, but now you got mad studying to do before you even get to the DMV. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a lot of studying before you could take a test. It's a lot. So you're studying this and you go take the test and you pass because you know the information. And now you know what's going on and going wrong. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? So treat the same way you treat a test that you're going to study for hard on the same way you're gonna study hard for domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. Because when you study on that and recognize what's going on, man, you'll walk right up out of there. Right up out. You'll walk right up out that situation. No looking back. It's a clown shit circus show. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so listen, if you're right here locally in Binghamton and Broome County, the surrounding areas, make sure y'all reach out for the help. All right. I gotta stop being toxic out here. It's all about peace. It's all about the awareness. It's all about everybody educating each other. And that's just what it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, because it's Thursday evening awareness right here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, I appreciate all of you. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate every last one of you. But listen, remember, they're gonna be in them clubs, they're gonna be in them bars, they're gonna be in them shindigs, they're gonna be everywhere, anywhere. The workplace, they're gonna be at the house. You gotta deal with them. They pop up at your door. They want you to go to the club with them, to the bar. You gotta drive on the highway for them. You gotta listen to their toxic mess. You gotta deal with them. You gotta cook for them. What else? What more of these narcissists want up out here in the streets, ladies and gentlemen? I don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? You got to keep taking on the toxicness. People got kids with them. People married to them. Yeah, it's real. But when you start uh gathering the right team around you, meaning you get your doctors involved, you get an advocate, you get a lawyer, and everybody's on the same team and everybody's understanding what's going on and what's going wrong, then you'll be able to know how to go and know how to move. All right. You'll be able to heal. You'll be able to be pointed in the right direction. You guys just got to be able to open your mouth and use it. All right. All you men and women, stop allowing toxic things to go on and go wrong. Okay. Stop allowing these people to be putting their hands on you and talk to you the way they want to talk to you. Stop allowing these people to come up to you and talk about they want to register cars and stuff like that under your name. No. All right. They should do that themselves. All right. Especially in Broome County, all of that go on, all of that go wrong up out here. So listen, y'all stay focused. All right. So welcome to Sharane's World, everybody, right here on YouTube. Yes. Shout out to everybody, man. It's that Thirsty Thursday evening awareness right here on YouTube. You know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow's Friday. I'm super excited. My radio show. I'm always excited when it comes to my radio show. And I'm still learning things over there, but don't worry about it. It's working out real good, ladies and gentlemen. You know, once again, super big shout out to DJ Supreme. That's Tyree Presley. You know. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sharane World. Yeah. Yeah, check out my community wall. I got a whole bunch of flyers up there that you guys can check out. Hit the like button on them, whatever that you like. Know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, the whole goal is to spread awareness, ladies and gentlemen. That is the goal. Is to help other people get that voice for themselves, not just locally in Binghamton, but nationwide as well. You know, and maybe you can start something up in your community. Maybe I can help you get that voice, and you can start things up in your community to get things going in your area. All right, but in Broome County, there's a lot going on and a lot going wrong. And it's Thirsty Thursday, and them narcissists and them DV people is lurking in them clubs for new supply. So y'all stay focused. Don't be buying them no drink, and don't let them buy you no drink. Listen, don't be dealing with no street pharmacists. All right, ladies and gentlemen. No street pharmacist activities. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to be out there buying nobody no PlayStation 5 games because they treating you like crap and they expect you to buy it. You ain't doing nothing like that up out there in them streets, ladies and gentlemen. What they think they is. See, them narcissists, right? They will act like they ain't got something, and you got to get it for them. Man, listen, they know how they working people. Keep telling y'all, they got a supply for each and everything. So when one don't fall through, there's another supply. But you don't know what they telling each supply, because each supply is being told something differently. They're all being told they're the only one. That's how they operate, male or female, just to get what they want for their own personal gain and need, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to Sharane World. I'm going to start heading up out of here. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. Hit the like button on this video if you support domestic violence and the awareness that I'm spreading over here. Because you never know who needs to see this, whether that's a male or a female or a cat and a dog. Alright? Because it goes down like that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you know somebody in a situation, share this video to them. Alright? If you're dealing with something and you got a nasty narcissistic ex or whatever, share this video to them. Maybe they get a little healing up out here in these streets, alright? You ain't gotta talk, just share the video. It's all about awareness. We gotta shake the room. We gotta make sure everybody understand what's going on and what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna start heading up out of here. Y'all stay blessed for tonight. And it's that Thirsty Thursday awareness right here on Sharane World. Alright, so listen. Keep your money in your pocket. Don't register no cars. And remember, down 911. Make sure they're not lurking in your backyards or nothing like that when it's time to go to bed tonight. Alright, y'all. And when they come around, make sure they ain't drunk. Because them narcissists, them DV people, they like to drink. They drink all the time. That's just their thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's just their thing. Ain't nothing wrong with people having a little sip, little drink. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, come on, ladies and gentlemen, to all my victims, all my survivors and thrivers, you know what I'm talking about. When they drink, they become crazy. So let's go. They turn into demons. Let's go. Welcome to Sharane World. I'm up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all stay focused. Thank you.
You got a long way to go. Rock with me now.